Tyson was shook by the power of this monster.
Strong enough to do that. Well, that was a good right hand by Tucker. That might have been the best shot that Mike Tyson has ever taken right there.
Mike Tyson is one of the most brutal and ruthless fighters in the history of world boxing. His knockouts turned grown men into trembling children and sent shockwaves of terror through the heavyweight division.
Not all night. Oh, that's a nice uppercut that time. Was in trouble in both the first and 10th rounds, and now he's in trouble here.
By 1987, Iron Mike had become an unstoppable force of nature, literally demolishing world champions like they were helpless sparring partners brought in for execution practice. Circumstances would force these two undefeated destroyers into an inevitable collision. But Tucker's path to greatness began with tragedy.
The U.S. boxing team scheduled a series of exhibitions in Europe. En route to Poland, their plane crashed. There were no survivors.
Tucker was supposed to be on that flight, but an injury kept him home. At that point, Tucker became religious, believing that God spared his life for a purpose, to become the heavyweight champion of the world. By 1987, HBO's heavyweight unification tournament was reaching its climax. Michael Spinks refused to fight Tucker and was stripped of his IBF title. Tucker was forced to face Buster Douglas for the vacant championship, brutally stopping him in the 10th round.
And a right behind it and another right. Douglas is in deep trouble on the ropes. Almost halfway through the round.
They stopped the fight.
And Mills Lane, I believe, has stopped this one. He has. It's over.
By pushing through the heavyweight division with a perfect record and with the IBF title around his waist, Tucker left Tyson no choice, forcing Mike to accept the unification fight for all the marbles. On this day, two undefeated heavyweight champions stepped into the ring with a combined record of 64 wins and 0 defeats, one of the highest combined fighter statistics in heavyweight history. Not since Ali versus Frazier had the boxing world witnessed such an incredible clash of unbeaten titans. Interest in this bout was fueled by the fact that the winner would automatically become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
And we'll see what kind of tactic Tucker takes.
Try to frustrate Mike Tyson.
Strong enough to do that. Well, that was a good right hand by Tucker. That might have been the best shot that Mike Tyson has ever taken right there.
In the first round, Tucker came out strong and aggressive, catching Tyson with a perfectly timed left uppercut that exploded on Iron Mike's chin and momentarily scrambled his circuits. For the first time in his career, the invincible Tyson looked human as the shot violently took his legs away. Tucker had done what nobody thought was possible. He rocked Mike Tyson.
And another right hand by Tucker. There was a left hand by Tyson. Again, a right hand from Tyson. And another big right by Mike Tyson. And particularly for Tucker. There's a great left hand at the bell by Tyson.
Here at this place. We'll show you a picture of him later on. 3-4 punches together. And he's following up with left uppercut, left hooks.
Led with the left. You know, Ray, I hearken back to your fight with Marvin Hagler, where after the first round, it was...
He's using his height, his reach.
Good body shot by Tyson. That's a...
Tyson's
change.
Tyson's trying to... That was a good example. That uppercut...
There was
coming in with his head.
time. Charge as a referee. No nonsense guy. There was a good right hand again by Tucker. Tyson on the way in.
He's finished with the left hook, Barry. Coming in with his head. The uppercut has been doing a trip.
There was a good left hand.
Tucker continued to fight Tyson aggressively in the early rounds, disrupting Mike's rhythm with his movement and sharp jab. By the end of the third round, Tucker was actually ahead on the scorecards, winning rounds 1 and 3 with his smart boxing and reach advantage.
He will be back with us in future fights. Opponent, because he throws a barrage of punches. Not one punch, because normally it's not going to do it. See the intensity in Tony Tucker.
There was a big left hand by Tyson. And another one.
Bring it back up to the head.
There's a right hand again by Tyson. Another good shot. And Tyson with another left hand.
Throw right behind it. But Tyson's starting to double his punch up a little bit.
You know, something that could become a factor that you never thought.
Good hand speed by Tony Tucker.
Tyson got the better of that exchange.
for a counter right hand, a lead-off right in front of Tony Tucker. Be less of a target.
There was a right hand in close. There was a right hand by Tyson.
Is winnable. People. By pushing a man off.
And there was a big right hand. Tucker says, no, I'm not hurt. I've always found that to mean I'm hurt.
That right hand.
And he took another right hand.
That little bit of insolence he had at the start of the fight.
3 rounds has been effective in.
But as the fight progressed, Tyson began to find his rhythm. The champion started targeting Tucker's body with devastating shots, slowing down the taller man's movement.
Other left hand.
With this intensity, this magnitude, when you're fighting, you really don't feel it because those...
Tucker's strategy became increasingly desperate. He began throwing fewer punches, trying to frustrate Tyson with clinching and movement.
Isn't whether he's going to win, but how he wins. That head in order to get inside and not be... He's very susceptible to the uppercuts.
There was a big left hand, but right hand. Judgment of Larry Merchant, right?
I think it's a little closer than that.
Well, if in fact ring generalship.
Seen in the past. And the reason for that is been get close. Now come.
There was.
That's what you have to do. Now he's not following something. Now he's inside again.
Keep a man off of you.
Will he try?
During the final rounds, Tucker started taunting Iron Mike by winding up his right glove, shuffling his feet, and finally dropping his hands and beckoning Tyson to hit him on the chin.
I mean, he's fighting his fight. The unified heavyweight champion at the age of 21. Tony Tucker won the title against Buster Douglas.
In the championship rounds, Tyson started boxing a more intelligent fight, creating openings off his jab and landing the cleaner, harder shots.
There was a big left hand. Tucker says, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. And so is Tucker.
After 12 rounds of hard fighting, Tyson was awarded a unanimous decision. The baddest man on the planet had become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, but he had been tested like never before.
Heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Even Iron Mike himself acknowledged the difficulty of the fight.
Was he a better fighter than you thought?
It was very hard to tell because he did a great deal of holding. He threw very fast punches. It was true.
And he really rocked you in the first round.
Yes, he did. He was a very hard puncher.
Tucker's career remained on an upward trajectory after the Tyson defeat. This relentless killer, who knows no sense of mercy, was named Tony Tucker. He was undefeated in 34 fights, with 29 of his victims brutally knocked unconscious, taking their souls one devastating punch at a time.
And he's got him on the ropes, and I mean on the ropes. I don't think Washington can land this round.
Standing 6 feet 5 inches tall with the graceful movement of Muhammad Ali, Tucker was a towering nightmare with explosive TNT power loaded in both fists. His lightning-fast combinations detonated on opponents' chins like nuclear bombs, turning their consciousness off like a light switch. Tucker's power was so terrifying that major heavyweights of that time, Tyson, Foreman, and Spinks, literally ran away at the mere mention of his name, desperately avoiding him for years, like he carried a deadly Tucker plague. Demolished the American domestic scene with ruthless efficiency.
Unexpected, I might add. Thomas is down. I don't know if he's going to get up.
Oh, this is it. If he gets...
He called himself the Invisible Champion because despite his perfect record, the boxing world ignored him while he systematically destroyed opponent after opponent.
At time he gets nailed with a right hand followed up by a left hook. If we don't see some punches being answered here shortly, you'll see Padilla move in and stop the fight. Nothing being thrown back. That's it. It's all.
Eventually reaching a record of 48-1, but he could never quite recapture that magic moment when he shook the boxing world. This was the night Tony TNT Tucker proved that even the most feared man on the planet could be touched. He may have lost the fight, but he gained something more valuable: immortality in boxing folklore as the invisible champion who made the invincible Mike Tyson look human. Friends, who do you think gave Tyson his toughest fight? Was it Tucker, Ruddock, Holyfield, or someone else?
30th 1987 at Las Vegas Hill, Winchester, Nevada, Tucker beat Buster Douglas by TKO at 136 in round 10 of 15 and won vacant IBF heavyweight title.
Those are fits an amateur fighter, a good amateur fighter. There was a left hook by Tucker. He hasn't been in any situation that even resembles this. Countering right hand. Brought one that was debated by just about using brute strength now. There's a quick right hand by Tucker. He ended up coming in. Tucker doesn't really seem to step in too much. There was a right hand. There was a right hand by Tucker.
These guys are punching with arm. Good shot. Now. You know what I'm fascinated with, guys? Like these guys don't. They're young, and once again they're young, and they can learn more as they get more fight.
Broad, as you mentioned. Right hand. Gun notice. You haven't been there before. It's another.
But it's no difference, I think.
That was a right hand by Tucker. Not a bad shot. And Douglas looks tired in addition to being hurt. Right hand again by Tucker. Douglas on wobbly legs. Looks like he's a punch away.
You need more than one punch. He's coming up the left hook. There was left hook there.
And a right behind him and another right. Douglas is in deep trouble on the ropes.
Stop the fight.
And Bill's Lane, I believe, has stopped
On
this
June
one.
29, 1996 at Fantasy Springs Resort Casino, Indio, California, Tucker beat David Dixon by knockout at 2:24 in round 1 of 12 and won vacant 10 ABF heavyweight title.
David Dixon, this title is that you hope it leads to a world title shot. Tucker of late, if he wins tonight, knowing the way this sport operates, Tucker could maneuver him. Hope so, yeah. He says he's hungrier. Low by Tucker. Looks like he trained with him. Yeah, but Dixon looked like he figured, I've got a punch. I might as well come out and take it on. Look at that. In South Central LA, he didn't even know it was a 12-rounder. And there, 8 with a minute 10 to go in the round. And Tony Tucker looking to finish him off to the body and to the head. A wild with a right hook by Dixon. Dixon out of gas. He's ready to go again. It's over 120 degrees.
On April 29, 1991 at Great Western Forum, Inglewood, California, Tucker beat James Ray Thomas by knockout at 143 in round 1 of 10.
Something, he looked tremendous when he fought, except in the last fight, Tommy, he weighed 249. He put on a few pounds, but he looks awfully good.
Once, and that was to Tyson back in '87 when they unified the heavyweight seats. Tyson recovered, but the distance, Tucker said later,
firing all those bombs from left and right. I think Tony wants to.
We're back in the New York, Boston, Philadelphia, more ink and more publicity. Living in Beverly Hills is swank, friend, but he is not getting the kind of publicity that a guy of his reputation and ability should get. Thomas is in trouble.
Almost all she wrote here.
Not unexpected, I might add. Thomas is down.
Lionel Washington. On January 28, 1991 at Great Western Forum, Inglewood, California, Tucker beat defending California State heavyweight title Lionel Washington by knockout at 111 in round 1 of 12.
Time since he lost in 12 rounds to Mike Tyson. He gave Tyson a tremendous shot in the first round like he's doing here now to Washington. And trying to knock his man out. He's had 31 knockouts and 38 professional victories. His only loss was to Tyson. And he's the champion with rights and left hand. And he's got him on the ropes, and I mean on the ropes. I don't think Washington can land this round. On the 17th, he's going to take his man, the champion Washington, out here in the first round. They'll stop it. They got to stop it.
On February 15, 1992 at the Mirage Paradise, Nevada, Tucker beat Kim Mulodin by TKO at 140 in round 2 of 10.
Good fighter, only lost once in his career with 41 wins. Strong fella. 6'5", 237 pounds. And You owed him 12 and 6 with 11 knockouts. Man, looks a little punchy and soft around the middle. And Tony Tucker will take advantage of that as the Indiana knows that should he be able to upset a guy in the top 10, it would mean a lot to his career, but he's not even ranked in the top 20 for heavyweights. Washington all in 1991. 3 wins, showing a lot of patience as he tries to wear his big opponent down. Tucker knows small man himself. Tucker has a look of determination on this fight. All business, just barely misses the right hand. Now let's see what Tucker can do as he moves in for the kill. If we don't see some punches being answered here shortly, nothing being thrown back. That's it.